Hey y'all, happy new moon. How you feeling? The moon is in Capricorn, and I've been feeling into this energy for a while when I was kind of like planning for the year. And the questions that kind of came up for me were like, what are you building? What promises are you keeping to yourselves? And I think that that's still really, really good as far as like personal reflections go. But I'm also feeling some like, what are you willing to let go of, or what have you been avoiding releasing? So we'll see what messages Spirit has for us for this new moon. I'm Tamil. If you're new here, we do have some new people in the IG community coming through, which is lovely. So I usually channel messages for the month. So you can kind of go back through the feed to see for your sign, your preview for the month. And then I also do moon messages. Well, that was pretty clear. So new beginnings, right? That's what we're moving towards, like literal, tangible new beginnings, whether it's in work, in our finances, building, planning, investing, but also relationship. We've been tasked to make our ideas real, like bringing our vision into this realm. And we will. We're doing it. We're being guided by Spirit, guided by our ancestors. We are also being called to incorporate ancient wisdom. A lot of what we'll be doing in Rebirth, which starts February the 1st. It's a 12-week program that's going to be facilitated by me, but using ancient wisdom to help bring about the fullness of ourselves. So we've been tasked with this. Ooh. I'm sitting with this a little bit because it feels like assignments that you may be getting during this new moon, because it's a very clean energy. It's very crisp. It's very clear. You can't really mistake. There's not a lot of confusion. There's going to be probably a lot of maybe fear rising up within you because you cannot mistake it. You can't turn it off. You can't ignore it. And you have to continue to say yes or wholeheartedly accept this assignment. Underneath that is the star, which is Aquarian energy. So this is new earth energy. This is your assignment for continuing to assist in building and bringing about new earth, new timeline, healed earth, however you want to look at it. It has something in my hair. So you have your assignments, but these all came out. And so I'll probably continue pulling, but the Lovers, the Ace of Staffs, and the Three of Swords. Who are you building with? Or who's in your life that's not a reflection of where it is that you're going? And this can be really painful, or this is really painful because it is a reality that you've struggled to accept. What's made this is so interesting because if y'all remember, this came up in the full moon in Cancer. So it's becoming more clear now that either someone you're in relationship with is suffering, or the relationship is suffering. So the specific question that I asked, about what we need to, because I felt that we we're being called to let something go. But, you know, it's not always about leaving someone or like cutting someone off. This could be a call to be more aware, especially if you're in a committed partnership, of the suffering of someone, so that you can tend where you can to that hurt, to that pain. But what's also rising to the surface is whatever is within us, keeping us from experiencing this level of intimacy and connection. So what old stories are we still carrying with us into relationship? And as it relates to like this building energy or this work or this career energy, what ideas or stories have we told ourselves, about our value, what we bring to the table, about our ideas? What have we believed to be true that is going to really hold us back from engaging in partnership? One of the things that I feel this is, and this came to me in meditation earlier too, when I was kind of feeling into this energy, is this also is kind of representing the shift and the death of like solopreneur type energy. And it's not that you can't be one, but if like, it's like there's a call and like a crying out of the soul to want to be in communion with others and to create in collaboration. And so if you've really been struggling to bring something to fruition, could it be it's because you are married to this idea of having to do everything on your own? Who is your team? And if you surrender and say yes to this new co-creative model of being, you can kind of end the suffering or end the struggle or end the stalemate. So let's get some clarifying messages. I feel like we need two different messages, one for love, one for money or career. If your heart is hurting, you need to communicate it to someone you can trust. You don't have to suffer in silence. That's another thing too that's being shed, is like, as honestly, this also feels like heart activation, like, and it's painful, like when your heart is activated and cracked open to realize how much you want to be in love. And I don't mean like even like a romantic love or partnership. I mean like in communion with others, and like looking at yourself and feeling unworthy of that. That's shifting, and it's like a cracking open. So that's another thing that's happening. Okay. 10 of Swords. So this new moon is representing the end of separation. Is kind of what I'm feeling. Separation consciousness. There's a conviction in the spirit. We have the Prince of Swords, the Lust card, which is really kind of like a higher version of this Ace of Wands, and then the Hermit. This is definitely activation energy. And also of the heart. The Strength card is, you know, Leo energy. It is the heart. A little bit of some solar plexus stuff too, but I'm feeling, because I heard solar activation. You can do with that what you will. Research that. This came first. the mind is literally trying to make sense of what the heart is experiencing, because it's never experienced anything like this before. So it's like you're really trying to like figure it out, but there is no mind answer. That is why you're struggling. It's only a heart answer. And it's only through connection, not necessarily with others, but you resolving the heart and the mind, that you'll experience this peace and this conflict within will cease. So our guidance now is to kind of accept that there is a shift in your consciousness, and take ownership of this need to kind of alchemize the mind and the heart and bring them into balance and in one accord. There's more. Thank you, Spirit. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Six of Cups. This is the communion energy that's wanting to be experienced. And we're being called to basically claim not only our spiritual inheritance, but our actual physical reparations or blessings. It's very go take back what the devil tried to steal from you. And it's not even anything that you have to fight for, because it's already been given to you by your ancestors. And so you submitting to and saying yes to what the very clear assignment is, and stop fighting, with yourself like you don't know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Submitting to that and saying yes to like building and like saying yes to the signs, embracing the opportunities that are being gifted and handed to you, will put you in alignment with your soul. Underneath that is the Five of Cups. So it's like literally putting yourself out of your own misery by getting into alignment with the soul's path and putting some real effort and intention into mending. It's almost like melting into fusing the mind and the heart space. I've been trying to avoid saying masculine and feminine, but it's those principles. So I would also ask, like, if you can affirm with me that I will get the new language that I've been praying for so that I can begin to use that. But this though, just coming back here, you can't pretend this away. The fear, the grief, the pain, any regret, any sorrow, any shame that you have about where you are, who you've hurt, who's hurt you. Feel the feelings so that you can start to repair and almost like forgive yourself and start to renew yourself, renew your mind, renew your spirit, and allow spirit to kind of like wash over you and take care of you in this way. It's almost like coming to the altar of your own soul and saying like, lead me and guide me. Order my steps. That's the prayer. Order my steps in your word. Show me how to walk. Okay, but yes, go listen to that song too. That may also inspire you, but really that's the call. That's the call. Don't know why I'm getting this other deck. I guess there's more. It shouldn't be too much. Three of Swords, Seven of Swords. We don't have to continue to abandon ourselves, abandon our heart, abandon our joy, abandon our love, abandon our authenticity. Oshumari here. Abandon our truth. We don't have to continue. We don't have to sacrifice that anymore. We get to show up in our fullness. And the more and more we say yes to our authenticity, the more we'll get to experience the love that our soul is seeking. So this is reparenting a bit, but it's also dealing with the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment that's keeping you from doing the building work. They are lies, you know, that you don't know enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're not good enough, that you're not loved. And so if you really, really struggle with showing up as your full self, or you feel like you don't really know who you are, or you're experiencing all of these literal activations and awakening, you feel like you're new on this spiritual journey, or you've been on it a while, sorry, somebody called me, or you've been on it a while and you're just like, what do I do now? Where do I go? We're being asked to shed some skin, rebirth ourselves. So I would invite you to look into that program that I'll be offering starting February the 1st. Enrollment is open now. Let me know how this message resonated with you in the comments. I love you so, so much. Happy new moon.